How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Welcome back, everyone, to game number 2 of our doubleheader here. This is the boys' version. Carroll, the number 1 team in the Summit Athletic Conference with a 9-2 overall record, a perfect 3-0 in conference play, ranked number 5 in Class 4A, the only area team ranked in the top 10 in Class 4A, which also includes Homestead, Snyder, and Northside. Carroll will host the Bishop Luers Knights 3A squad with a 4-3 overall record, 2-1 in conference play. Bishop Luers brings with them the big man, freshman Sydney Curry. Sydney averages 14.3 points per game to lead all scorers on his team, also averaging 11.5 rebounds per game. So averaging a double-double on the season is the big man, 6'7" Sydney Curry, who is a Rivals top 100 player. He, along with Keon Brooks, bring a kind of a national spotlight to the Fort Wayne area when it comes to the freshman class. My name is Jeff Mahoney, bringing you the play-by-play for today's big ball game. Today's game is brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine. This is SummitCitySports.com. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at 260sports, like our Facebook fan page at Summit City Sports, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, joining me in the booth is Tim Atkinson, providing the color for today's game. And Tim, this is going to be your first time all year getting a chance to see Jacob Redding. Now, I know you've got to talk to some of the coaches around the area and some of the officials as well. And Jacob Redding, what he was able to show the Summit Athletic Conference during the holiday tournament is that he is a force to be reckoned with. He plays the 2 for Coach Mark Redding and Coach Marty Beasley and these Carroll Chargers. But Jacob Redding, what have you heard, and what are you looking to see out of the young man?
He's a dynamic shooter, a junior, number 4, Jacob Redding. Shoots 51% from downtown, has one of the sweetest strokes you will see in the city of Fort Wayne. We always like to joke around the area, like to see a 3-point contest between Jacob Redding and another junior, but we'll go to the girls' side, and Carissa McLaughlin from Homestead High School. It'd be sweet, just for a lack of a better word, would be sweet to see a 3-point shootout between those 2 outstanding shooters. But I'm super excited to see Jacob Redding in person with the likes of Kyle Mallers, the big fella for Carroll. He's listed at 6'7", so it'll be a big matchup down low with Mallers and Curry. And you mentioned, Jeff, a top 100 player is Sydney Curry. Almost too unselfish at times. Loves to give that extra pass to the teammate, but, can find the open teammate. And his basketball IQ is so tremendous. But he also has some talented guards in J.J. Foster and Ray Walker. Foster is the team's leading scorer, averaging 15.5 points a game. He's a junior. He's the coach's kid for Luers. But Sydney Curry, Walker, Foster, and let's not forget Jordan Banks, the other big fella for Luers. He's a 3-point specialist for Coach Foster. So Carroll will have to come out and guard him beyond the 3-point line, because Banks, he shoots at 38% from 3, but if he's open, I rarely see him miss, Jeff.
Jordan Banks, who comes into today's game averaging 14.6 points per game. As a matter of fact, Bishop Luers has 4 players, Tim, averaging double-digit scoring. Once again, Sydney Curry with 14.3, Ray Walker at 11.9, and J.J. Foster, the junior. He was at Homestead last year, came back to play for his dad at Bishop Luers. JJ averaging 15.6 points per game. Just 2 players averaging double digits for Carroll. It's Jacob Redding at 15.4, Kyle Mallers at 14.1, and Kellen Brown just under double digits, averaging 9.7 points per game. Folks, we're going to send it down for the school songs before we have the starting lineups and national anthem. Up on the clock before the start of this game once again. Carroll sitting in first place in the SAC. 9-2 overall. Those 2 losses came in tournament play. One to Lawrence Central, the tough Bear squad coached by Al Gooden. It was Lawrence Central getting the win over Carroll in that game, 62-56, and that was the championship game of the Hall of Fame tournament. Carroll did beat Martinsville 58-50 to make it to that game. And in the SAC tournament, also the championship game, Carroll opened up against Southside and won 72-57, then beat Homestead 62-43 before losing in overtime to Northside 58-54. But once again, Coach Marty Beasley in his first ever SAC Holiday Tournament guiding the Chargers to the championship game. But once again, it was Northside winning it, their 3rd straight Holiday Tournament championship. It's pretty interesting, folks. In the past 9 years, there's only been 3 teams to win the Holiday Tournament. Bishop Luers won it 3 years in a row. Northrop with Bryson and Brenton Scott. Of course, Bishop Luers with Deshaun Thomas. Bryson and Brenton Scott, they won 3 in a row. And how about Brenton Scott? Dropped 30 for Indiana State just the other day. He has been fantastic in the Missouri Valley Conference, which, Tim, is arguably the top mid-major conference in the country, with the likes of Northern Iowa and Southern Illinois and some of the good squads, along with Indiana State. And then Northside winning their 3rd straight. But, Tim, I got to think Northside's primed to win 4 straight next year, because Jalen Butt's only going to be a senior next year. I shouldn't say only, but he's only a junior this year. And Keon Brooks. Keon Brooks is just so much fun to watch, Tim, because he can do literally everything on the basketball floor.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, kind of Kevin Durant-esque is Keon Brooks, how he patents his game after, plays the 3 for Coach Shabazz Khalik. But can do it all, can dribble, drive, cross you over either side. His tremendous timing at blocking shots, this Keon Brooks. But yeah, Jeff, what a story. That SAC, winning 3 in a row is such a huge feat with the talent that's on display in Fort Wayne. Wayne High School always does an outstanding job of hosting that out there at Wayne High School out on the south side of Fort Wayne, Indiana. But yeah, that was a tough game there for the Carroll Chargers to to take the loss in overtime to those Redskins. But, you know, as you mentioned, Jalen Butts as well, you know, from his sophomore to junior year, added so much strength, has become a real force down low for the Redskins. It's a nice complement to the outside presence, inside-outside presence of Keon Brooks Jr. So, you know, Jalen Butts will be back next year with Brooks. But let's not forget their point guard, McKinney, also an outstanding player. He averages about 5 to 6 steals a game. They can lock you down on defense, can Northside as well, Jeff.
Well, Tim, that's a great comparison there with Kevin Durant and Keon Brooks. Let's go to the other freshman, Sidney Curry. If you had to match him up with a great college player or an NBA player, who would you say?
He's kind of reminds me a little bit of Jared Sullinger from Ohio State at the Boston, you know, plays for the Boston Celtics. You know, about the same height, but really can play down low with his back to the basket. Great shot blocking and timing by Sidney Curry. So I think a good comparison for him right now at this stage in his career is a J.J. Sullinger type.
Well, we got 10 seconds here before we announce the starting lineups. Once again, this is SummitCitySports.com bringing you today's broadcast. We are sponsored by Parkview Sports Medicine. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel that you are watching this game on. Folks, we're going to send it down now for the starting lineup to today's game.
High School and the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin by introducing the starters from Bishop Luers High School. A 6'4" junior, number 3, Jason Davis. A 6'7" freshman, number 5, Sidney Curry. A 5'11" junior, number 11, Ray Walker. A 5'11" junior, number 12, J.J. Foster. And a 6'5" senior, number 35, Jordan Banks. The Knights are coached by J.J. Foster. And now for your Carroll Chargers! A 6'1" junior, number 4, Jacob Redding. A 5'10" senior, number 10, Avery Bass. A 6'3" sophomore, number 11, Arias Jones. A 6'7" senior, number 14, Kyle Mallers. And a 6'3" senior, number 55, Kellum Brown. The Chargers are coached by Marty Beasley.
Tim Kellum Brown, number 55, a forward, senior at 6'3", 190 pounds. A real defensive force here for Coach Marty Beasley, averaging just under 10 points a game at 9.7. Last year was considered arguably the best 6-man in the area on that squad, now in the starting lineup in his senior year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Coach Mark Beasley chooses to go with on the defensive end. The box and one has caused Luers fits, with the one, of course, being face guarding J.J. Foster. Since the Homestead first matchup, since Homestead and Chris Johnson went to the box and one, it has been trouble for J.J. Foster.
Well, in the circle, it is number 5, the freshman, Sidney Curry, and Kyle Mallers, who's committed to play at Ball State next year for the Cardinals. It's Avery Fath controlling the point as Redding heads in between the circles. Out on the far wing is number 11, Arias Jones. As the three-pointer is good. Check out that catch and shoot. Rebounded by Mallers. Put back no good. Bounding ball, rebounded by Brown, loses control. And gaining possession for the Knights, it's number 3. That's Jason Davis.
Jeff, they come out in a straight man-to-man, it looks like, here for the Chargers. Didn't get a good glimpse of it. We'll take a look at the next possession.
Tim Curry gets his first pass there and drops the baseline jumper. So right away, catch and shoot for Sidney Curry, not looking to give it up that time.
He has great touch around the basket and on that jump shot. There's Redding.
Second three-point attempt for Redding, no good. Bringing the ball up for Luers is number 11. That's Ray Walker Jr. Feed goes to big man number 35.
That's Jordan Banks, Jeff. He's the one we talked about in the opener. He can hit that three ball, so it'll be important for Mallers to stay out on Banks.
Walker over to J.J. Foster. Foster being guarded by Jacob Redding. It's a nice matchup right there. Foster listed at 5'11", Redding listed at 6'1".
It's not very good spacing here for Luers in the early going. There, a good clear out by Curry. Left it right to Banks. Nice little play there, Jeff.
So Banks picks up his first 2 points of the game. Knights up 4-0 over these Carroll Chargers with just 2 minutes into the first quarter. Redding finding Brown in the corner, back up to Fab.
Yeah, and J.J. Foster, he's not just a scorer, can also distribute the basketball, as we saw right there on that end, Jeff. He averages 5 assists a game.
Mallers beyond the arc, and he can hit that three-point shot. Nice reach in there by Walker. He's going to be called with the foul. That'll be his first and the team's first on Ray Walker.
Yeah, real tight game. Both teams feeling each other out right here. Bishop Luers with the 2 easy buckets right now, which has got to worry Coach Beasley. Seems Luers is getting into the paint and around the bucket pretty easily to start the game.
Mallers has Foster out on him, out on the perimeter.
2-3 zone here, Jeff, by Luers.
Redding sinks down to the block. Brown being guarded by Foster. Foster's going to stay up top. Redding's already got 2 3-point attempts. Mallers, this will be his first, and he drains it. Kyle Mallers getting the first 3 points of the game for Carroll, bringing the Chargers to within 1 here with 5:29 left to play.
And that's the disadvantage. Banks has to come out on Mallers, but Mallers can put the ball on the ground. And you can't leave that kid open right there. He will knock him down all night long.
J.J. Foster with the triple. That's going to extend that lead back to 4 points for Bishop Luers, 7-3 your score. Feed down low to Mallers. Got Sidney Curry up in the air. And, Tim, that's one of those situations. Once Curry went up in the air, he's just got to go straight up after that.
Yeah, stay strong. You're way too important for your team to get into foul trouble, especially early. You don't see that a whole lot, though. As a freshman, he does a very good job at timing and staying on his feet until the offensive player leaves his feet. But that time, got up in the air, and he picked up the foul.
So Mallers hits his first free throw. First free throw attempted of the game by either squad. 5:07 on the clock. Second free throw attempt is up and in.
Yeah, he's got a good-looking stroke as well. You can tell the coaching staff here at Carroll teaches that jump shot so well. You can see it.
Good half-court trap there. Ray Walker was trying to throw it off of Brown. It looks like he just missed his foot as that ball ended up in the stands.
That was a great trap over there on the far side. As soon as he hit the cross that timeline, went with that trap, and it immediately caused a turnover. Good defense there by Carroll.
So Avery Fath to bring it over the timeline, averaging 2.7 points per game. He's a distributor for Coach Redding and the Chargers. Another turnover there by Carroll. Foster bringing it up now.
Yeah, those are the hands by Foster. He averages 2 steals a game as Curry at the charity stripe just can't get that to go. But that's another advantage that Curry has is he's a lefty. He's left-hand dominant. Can't play with both, but he loves that left hand, and that is his dominant hand.
Kellen Brown misses on the 16-foot baseline jumper, rebounded by Ray Walker. Walker finds Foster all alone in the corner for the triple. That's 2 3-pointers now for J.J. Foster. He's feeling it early on.
Well, and that's the problem. You cannot keep your hand down in the face of Foster, because if he starts getting comfortable, Jeff, he could drop 7-8 threes on a team. There's no doubt about it. You know, I guarantee you Coach Beasley has been practicing that box and one, and I bet you he pulls that out here shortly if they can't seem to cover up on Foster.
Jacob Redding and Avery Fath going to take a breather here for the Chargers. Into the game, it's number 20, Anthony Martin, along with number 33, Riley Perlick, as Arias Jones going to take over point guard duties right now for Carroll Chargers.
It's more of a 3-2 zone with Banks and Curry on both blocks and the 3 guards up top of that 3-2 zone.
Perlick Right now, top of the key, signaling for some motion, finds Mallers. Mallers way beyond the three-point line there, looking at about a 26-footer. Finds Brown driving from the elbow. That shot was rejected by Curry. Kept alive by Perlick. Three-point attempt by Martin. That one tailed off to the right, rebounded by Foster. 3:40 left to play. Knights up 10-5.
Yeah, go back to that defensive play, Jeff. Sidney Curry, you see what I was talking about with keeping his feet. And look at that outstanding pass and the travel. Right there, Ray Walker's got to be ready to shoot that ball. And just put it up. Put it up. You're open.
Tim, you had mentioned earlier, Curry, he looks for the pass, he looks for that assist, but right there, a big advantage for him down on the block. It seems like he could just muscle it up and got that one in easily. Yeah,
that's definitely, I'm not going to harp on him for making a cross-court skip pass there to a wide-open three, but yeah, Jeff, overall, when you have possession, he's 3-4 feet from the bucket. I mean, he's going to have the best opportunity to score being that close to the basket.
Perlick gets the handoff from Mallers. They're on the near wing. Up top is Martin. Ray Walker's got the defense. That's Davis.
Yeah, Davis is real good at the top of that 3-2 zone with his length, Jeff.
Perlick with the rebound after the miss by Mallers. Mallers cutting towards the hoop, goes up top. Jones now driving from the far wing in the lane. No good. And that is knocked out of bounds. Possession going to go to Bishop Luers, I believe. Do we have a foul, Tim?
We do, yeah. Foul called on number 11, Arias Jones. Just got a piece of the arm as Curry went up with two arms to grab that board.
So bringing it up for the Knights will be Foster. Very impressive performance so far here by the Bishop Luers Knights. Tim, number 3, Jason Davis at 6'4", listed as a forward, also playing a little bit of guard. At 6'4", they got some size out there, does Bishop Luers.
Yeah, he's one of those intangible guys for Coach Foster, as Mallers can't knock that down. But yeah, he's one of those intangible guys that every team needs as he comes out with that loose ball and smartly look at him, pull it back out, get it to a point guard or your big fella right there at the top of the key.
Foster now with the ball being guarded by Martin. Three-point attempt is good. The third three-pointer of the first quarter for J.J. Foster, the junior.
Not a good sign, Jeff. Sorry, not a good sign, as Coach Beasley needs a timeout right there because that is not a good sign at all. 3 for 3 from distance. J.J. Foster, he will stroke it on you. And with these open looks, he's going to start feeling extra comfortable. That rim's starting to get huge as he's dropped 3 in this first quarter through the first 6 minutes, Jeff. So this is dangerous here for Coach Beasley. And let's see if they come out with that box and one out of the timeout.
Tim, Bishop Luers comes in. They're 4-3 overall, but early on in this game, so many weapons for these Knights. When you look at Ray Walker and a Sidney Curry, I mean, we're talking about Sidney Curry nonstop to start this game, but it seems like all 5 of these players very, very good.
Yeah, they're very talented, well-coached players, very skilled, good size, good basketball IQ. They're a very fun team to watch, and they're only going to get better with the progression and the experience.
So Jones takes the handoff from Martin. 1:58 left to play, 13-5. Feed goes to Perlick. Perlick with the bunny. Hits it from about 8 feet out.
That was a good dribble drive there by Jones and found Perlick, but the key with that was Perlick caught the ball with his hands up by his chest and immediately went up for the shot. Defense didn't have time to react. Great play that time by the Chargers.
Sidney Curry now is going to be battling with Jared Hoffer, the center, a sophomore at 6'9", 230 pounds. Just inside the arc and off the mark. That shot by Jordan Banks, no good.
Yeah, and Hoffer is all of that. There's no doubt about it. Good potential for the big fella. Still coming around. But, yeah, very good player. And he'll get there for Coach Beasley.
Jacob Redding, long three-point attempt, and it's good. Redding now 1-up-3 from beyond the arc. Hits a long one. He gets his first bucket of the game. 13-10 your score.
Yeah, you won't see Jacob Redding miss 3 straight threes. It's just not going to happen very often at all. As that was a good look to Perlick, and Perlick knocks down a 3. Little live from Carroll, and they tie it up, Jeff.
Riley Perlick now with 5 points in this game. Back-to-back three-pointers by the Chargers. Coach Marty Beasley called the timeout, Tim, and it worked to perfection.
Yeah, that was a huge call timeout-wise. Got his team regrouped. Now they're back tied up with just 55 seconds to go in the first quarter. Usually this is how these games start, these battles in conference. Usually a slow starting game. And then once the teams start getting a little bit more comfortable, you're going to see a little bit more scoring output. But the key, obviously is for the Chargers. They have to get a hand in the face of J.J. Foster. I don't care if you have to face guard or whatever. You have to make somebody else beat you. If you do not take J.J. Foster, the junior, away, who averages 15.5 a game, if you don't take him away, he will kill you and get comfortable, as we've seen so early, Jeff, here with 3 threes.
Number 15, Blaine Cook, entering the game for Bishop Luers. He averages 3.5 points per game, over a rebound and assist per game as well for the Knights. Sidney Curry down low, initiated some contact. Fadeaways no good, rebounded by Martin.
Yeah.
Redding bringing it up now for the Chargers.
Sorry, Jeff, step on you there. Curry, I just want to, for the young kids out there watching that, look at the hands. The hands are so special for Sidney Curry. That ball, I guarantee only 10% of players in this city could catch that ball, and he not only caught it, went up with it. So it's just so talented. Great, great player is Sidney Curry.
Carroll settling for the last shot here of the first quarter, tied at 13. If they could escape the first quarter with the lead, it would be quite an accomplishment here in the final 3 minutes. Redding retreats back, finds Perlick in the lane, had a seam. Got Curry up in the air, Tim. It was beautiful, and drew the foul from Jordan Banks.
Yeah, a lot of attention paid to Redding right there on the roll, on the screen action. And Perlick just found the opening in the lane. And Jacob Redding, being unselfish as he is, dropped a little assist. But Perlick got fouled, couldn't hit it, but a chance here. Now they got the lead, Jeff, only with 0.7 seconds left.
So Riley Perlick picks up his 6th point of the first quarter, puts his team up 14-13. Second one's good as well. Ray Walker does get a shot off there at 0.7 seconds left to go, but it's no good. Tim, 0.7, that's about as low as you can get to get a shot off.
Yeah, with the catch and shoot, anything below that, I think it's like 0.5 it has to be a tip. But yeah, that was a good quarter there, kind of a low-scoring quarter, kind of what these teams can do. But good defensive play, open shots were made, some good passing, a couple block shots, saw a little bit of everything there in the first quarter. But I want to mention, the field house here in Carroll, such an awesome venue. During timeouts and quarters, you see them having games out here with 2 of the youngsters out here having a game for a prize. So big shout out to Athletic Director Dan Gander.
Always a first-class operation here at Carroll High School. Well, Riley Perlick is the story there of the first quarter. The sophomore forward at 6'4", 210 pounds, entered this game and hit the 8-foot jumper in the lane. Followed that up with a 3-pointer and then the 2 free throws to end the first quarter. Riley Perlick with 7 points to lead his team. Leading all scorers is J.J. Foster, who right away hit 3 triples in the first quarter, but did not see the ball much there in the final 3 minutes. And that's when Carroll was able to overcome the deficit and go up 15-13.
As we have a dance competition breaking out here, Jeff, as Whip Nene comes on.
Handoff goes over to Walker. Number 3 for the Knights is Jason Davis.
That was just a man move right there by Jordan Banks. Good way to start the second quarter. Feed the big fella down low, and he just bodied and went right up with it with the hook.
Now Bridges down low, had that shot blocked by Cook. They'll get it out to Foster. Carroll doing a good job of getting back. Cook wide open for 3, left short. Redding with the board.
That's his specialty, Jeff. They like to have him come in. He seems to get lost on the offensive end from the defense and finds himself open quite a bit. Probably the attention that's being paid to the higher scorers here at Luers. But Cook, if he gets hot, he can also knock down 3 or 4 as I've seen this year.
So Redding and Mallers back on the floor here together in the second quarter to start. Number 25 is Jordan Bridges, a junior, averaging 3.8 points per game for the Chargers.
Right here, Mallers needs to put it on the bucket and attack Banks. And he gave it up there. He needs to keep that and take Banks.
Pfaff running the point, finds Brown all alone in the corner for three, and he hits it.
Good
Kellen Brown getting his first bucket of the game.
Yeah, good elevation on that jump shot by Brown. He had a great foundation on that jump shot, went straight up and knocked the three down.
Walker now, long three-point attempt, no good. Going up strong, that was Banks with the rebound off the glass. Nice bank shot by Jordan Banks.
Jordan Banks knows exactly what he's good at, and he does it well.
Redding missed on the three-point attempt, tracked down by J.J. Foster. Banks now the only person to score for Luers here in the second quarter. He's got 6 points total. Foster, some fancy ball handling. Looks like he may have taken a hand to the face. He's okay. He's going to give it up to Walker as he's kind of regrouping. Walker being guarded by Pfaff right there by the timeline. Reverses direction, walled off by Bridges. All alone was Davis, opted not to take the three-point. Now Banks coming out, setting the pick, works down to the block, gets the feed from Cook. Fall away, right-handed hook shot by Jordan Banks is good, Tim. That was outstanding.
That was great patience on offense and ball movement by the Knights as they finished it with a beautiful little low post move by Banks.
Brown's three-point attempt was no good, rebounded by Davis. Now Foster, right-handed hook shot is good.
Went between the legs and then towards the baseline and kind of did almost a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sky hook that went in.
Avery Pfaff answers on the other end, his first two of the game. Knights up 21-20, 5:20 left to play in the second. The big man, Jordan Banks, 6'5" senior. Looks like he goes about 240 pounds. Very skilled for a big man. Tim, you said he likes to shoot the three ball as well.
Loves to shoot the three ball. If he has any opening at all, he won't hesitate at all.
J.J. Foster misses his first three-pointer of the game. Did hit three in the first quarter. Redding looking to go coast to coast, kicks back, and Kellen Brown called with the travel.
Yeah, just shuffled the feet. You see that 4 or 5 times a game here in high school with getting the pass and trying to attack the basket, but just not getting the basketball out of the hands before you take that first step.
Tim, we saw it with Walker on the other end in the first quarter.
Absolutely.
4:48, half-court trap set up by Coach Beasley. Banks down low, all alone. Tim, he doesn't need it to be that easy.
My goodness, yeah, that was obviously a defensive breakdown and communication by Carroll on their press as Banks knocks down that attempted pass, gets the ball and throws it up to Foster. Nicely done. Can't finish.
But Banks with the board. And now a beautiful feed down low for Walker. That was rejected by Jones, but wow. Jordan Banks.
Yeah, he's a tough player, Jeff. He can do anything, but has been showing his low post game here this evening. You know, has 10 points here already for the Knights of their 23.
Well, with Curry on the bench, he is the only force for Bishop Luers on the floor, but he does knock it down from 13 feet out.
They may have to think about throwing a double team at Jordan Banks right now down low. He's just dominating on the block.
And that's with Curry on the bench, so all attention paid on him. Mallers catches it at the elbow.
And that was a good recovery by Banks defensively because Mallers was open for a second there on the right elbow.
Jones picked up by Foster, works his way around him, met up with Davis, and we got a foul going to be called.
Yeah, good dribble drive. Just got knocked down to the ground. Looked like it was almost an unintentional trip there, but got to call that. We're going to call a travel on that, which obviously wouldn't have been fair to the offensive player.
Sidney Curry is going to check in for Jordan Banks. Curry checks in with 2 points. Pfaff with the inbounds pass. Goes up top to Jones. Finds Mallers. Kyle Mallers, who has 5 points in this game. Redding, 4 threes. Already got one triple. Misses on that one. Rebounded by Mallers.
Yeah, the stroke looks good for Redding, just not falling right now.
15-foot jumper by Pfaff. No good. Kicked out. Beautiful job by Riley Perlick. He's having himself a game for the Chargers.
Yeah, he's having outstanding minutes off the bench for Coach Marty Beasley.
Filling the cup. Nice defensive pressure at that time, kicking out the rebound. Redding, lob pass. 13-foot jumper by Mallers, rims out, rebounded by Curry.
Yeah, tough bounce there by Mallers, but that's good execution by Carroll. Coach Beasley will like that.
Foster picks up his dribble. Finds Walker up top. Walker and Foster do not sit much, these dynamic guards for Coach Foster.
Good defense, low post defense there played by Perlick. Ended up getting the ball to be switched sides. Great defense by Perlick, pushing Curry out for where he wanted to go, forcing the tougher jump hook.
It was rebounded by Redding. Working the point right now, finds Jones. Great ball movement. 3 passes, bang, bang, bang. But Perlick kind of took his time down low, and Jason Davis was able to supply the defense on him.
Yeah, Perlick right there, just not enough athleticism with the players that were around him to get that shot up and over.
Davis for 3. That was Foster on the give, no good, rebounded by Mallers. 25-20 your score, 20-18. 2 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the second. Redding rises up, 3-point attempt, no good. Rebounded by Perlick.
Redding just off a bit.
Tim's been some good defense here by Bishop Luers early on, making it tough for these Chargers.
Yeah, they've been in the passing lanes, harassing the offensive players on that end. They've been outstanding defensively. I mean, holding Carroll to 20 points right now with only 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter. It's got to be very pleasing for head coach J.J. Foster in his 3rd year.
Carroll now with a big lineup as Pfaff heads to the bench and Hoffer comes in for him. So that's 5'10 leaving and 6'9 coming on.
Yeah, good take there by Kyle Mallers. Had Curry on him one-on-one. Got his shoulder in the chest of the shot blocker, so Curry couldn't get any elevation. He'll get the foul, but couldn't get the conversion. He'll have the line, though, to shoot a pair.
Mallers already a perfect 2 of 2 from the free throw line. That was in the first quarter. Does hit the third. Tim, Kyle Mallers obviously staying close by, going to go to Ball State. What do you think? How do you think his game transitions with his height to the MAC?
Yeah, they will find what he's best at. I think he prefers, and he may be overall best at being more of a perimeter, more of a stretch 4 or play the 3 in college at Ball State. As Ray Walker knocked down that 3, but yeah, they will once he gets in a Division I weight program, the strength training programs, you'll see him blossom. I can guarantee you that.
Redding for 3, the catch and shoot by number 4, Jacob Redding.
Yeah, he'll keep shooting, and he is not shy about shooting. If he misses 4 of them, he'll think he's going to make that 5th one every time.
Redding unofficially 2 of 5 from beyond the arc in this game. Ray Walker, that was his first bucket last time down, and it was a triple. J.J. Foster working off a pick set by Banks as Banks sinks down to the block. Ray Walker rises up, no good. Banks with the board. Banks being guarded by Hoffer. That's 6'9 versus 6'5. Cook, good ball, but once again, Ray Walker, and we got a blocking foul going to be called on Jacob Redding.
Yeah, that was tough. Redding just couldn't get to the baseline quick enough to get that right foot on the line to cause the dribble drive to go back in towards the paint. So that caused the foul on the block.
So for Redding, that's his first and the team's second.
See if Luers tries to hold it for the last possession here, Jeff, with 45 seconds.
Foster's got Jones all the way out on him as Banks comes out to set the pick. Banks is a big, wide body up there for these nice guards. Banks now sinking down to the block where Cook is. Cook left alone. Good recovery defense as his pass is stolen by Redding.
That was outstanding help defense by Redding that time, coming off his man and taking up for where the opening was on defense.
So now, instead of Luers settling for the last shot, it will be the Chargers with 14 seconds left to play. Hoffer all the way out in the corner. That's running the baseline is Mallers. Mallers has got Cook on him. Nice jump stop in the lane. Cannot hit. Gets his own rebound. But that will do it for the first half as the Knights are up 28-24. Tim, was a good first half with Luers coming out hot. J.J. Foster hitting 3 3-pointers there in the first quarter. And then the Chargers taking the lead at the first quarter, marching their way back with some big play by Riley Perlick. This has been a great game so far.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The difference has been for Luers on the offensive end. They need to keep force feeding Jordan Banks because right now the Carroll Chargers do not have an answer for his jump hook, both left and right, down on either block. for the story for the Chargers on the offensive end. It's to get Jacob Redding going. Mallers going as well, only with 6 points here, Jeff, for Mallers, as he averages 14 a game. Just 6 for Redding, who averages 15 a clip. So, you know, they definitely need to work on those two things, and that will be the difference here in the second half.
Folks, we're going to take a break here and let you enjoy this dance party here at Carroll Fieldhouse. This is Jeff Mahoney and SummitCitySports.com. We'll be back with you.
Get those ducks ready here for our Chuck-a-Duck and your chance to win some cash. All right, here we go. On the count of 3, let those ducks fly. 3, 2, 1, Chuck the ducks.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the dance performance here by the Carroll Lady Charger dancers, doing a great job. We have 6.5 minutes here to the start of the second half. Big time game tomorrow, folks, as Snyder is going to get a big test on the road when they travel to go take on Warsaw. Nice article here this week in the News Sentinel saying Snyder taking on one of the state's best in Warsaw. The Snyder boys have started to gain momentum from somewhat of a slow start. Remember, the Snyder football team did win a state championship, so it was a little bit of a late start for both Snyder and Bishop Dwenger, your 2 state championship teams from the Summit Athletic Conference. Snyder out of the 5A, Dwenger out of 4A. Snyder's win at Southport to close out the 2015 season absolutely garnered some attention. They will take their 3-game winning streak into Warsaw on Saturday to face the state's 10th best team, according to the most recent Indiana Basketball Coaches Association poll. Barring upsets today as Snyder visits Homestead and Warsaw hosts Goshen, Saturday's meeting between these two could be a big swing game. A Warsaw win would be its biggest of the year, but a Snyder victory could propel the Panthers into the IBCA and Associated Press rankings. Warsaw junior guard Kyle Mangus will be the focal point for the Panthers, coming off a career-best 29-point effort against Northridge. The Panthers have been up and down with their defensive guard play, but most notably in the 2 games with rival Northside, where they thrived in the opener, only to give up a lot in the rematch during the SAC Holiday Tournament. The Tigers are 10-0 for the first time since the 1993 1994 season. Tim, you're heading to Warsaw tomorrow to call that game. It will not be live, but we will rebroadcast that on SummitCitySports.com, our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe so you will be notified when that game gets posted. But we just talked about the guard from Warsaw. Obviously, we know what we have with Snyder, with Malik Williams. What are you most excited about to see that game tomorrow?
How Warsaw handles Malik Williams. It's going to be real interesting to see how they come out defensively on a guy his size with his athleticism, how he can go in and out on the offensive end, take you outside, take you to the bucket. So it's going to be really interesting. Warsaw hasn't faced anybody but like Malik Williams yet this year to his talent level, being a top 30, 35 player from I think the last time I looked in the country in his class. So it's going to be really interesting. The other thing is will Snyder get overwhelmed at Warsaw? The crowd is going to be hyped at Warsaw. You'll have about the whole town out there in the gym, and they are going to be loving it. They are absolutely excited for the game tomorrow. That's a 7:30 tip at Warsaw High School. Snyder High School will be out there for that contest. Of course, Summit City Sports.
Well, Tim, we've had a chance to see Columbia City a few times this year. The Eagles out of Columbia City had 9-4 record. You had a chance to call their game against Northrop where they lost 68-63. Yeah. That was Northrop getting the win over Columbia City. Well, Warsaw's closest game on the season came November the 28th at Columbia City, where Warsaw got the 52-51 victory in 2 overtimes. 10-0 overall record, but I got to believe to this date, Snyder's played some tougher opponents.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They did, for Columbia City, they have the Hazen brothers and Brock and Hazen, and Parker Hazen. But Malik Williams is a different level athlete. I think Parker is getting to that point. He's very athletic as well. Malik is just a different animal when it comes to that aspect of the game. So, they have had experience playing some big guys with Columbia City. But with the overall team and the overall package, and Coach Tudor's going to have his squad raring to go, making that 50-minute drive west over to Warsaw, Indiana.
Well, Snyder and the knock on Malik Williams early on when Snyder was struggling, because at the beginning of the year, and it is tough when your football team takes some of your athletes away from you and you're not able to practice and get the extra work in that you need. But the knock on Malik early on was he's got such ability from around the perimeter, but he is 6'11", and obviously in high school you're going to dominate anywhere in the country when you're 6'11" down on the block. The knock on him was that he was playing too much away from the paint, but that has turned around a little bit. He's now sinking down a little bit more. Do you think that's something that needs to continue with him establishing his game in the paint?
Jeff, and it will with him continuing to add muscle and feeling more comfortable down low, banging with, like even a Sidney Curry just has more mass on his body, is built bigger and thicker, where Devin has to really work at putting on weight, which once he get whatever colleges he chooses, which will be a good one, is going to get an outstanding worker, and I think he will eventually be more of a 4, Jeff, in college, but his mindset has always been to be a perimeter player. So I don't know if he can necessarily change that fully, but we'll see how he progresses. But sky's the limit for Devin Williams.
Well, folks, Malik Williams, we are just 15 seconds away with the Knights up 28-24. So excited here for the second half. I don't think many people thought that Bishop Luers would be up by 4 at this point. But, Tim, it's Bishop Luers that has really shown kind of control in this game.
Yeah, and it's been Jordan Banks. It started with J.J. Foster. Carroll comes out and goes straight man-to-man. J.J. Foster got off a couple screens and had several good looks, and he had a hot hand hitting those 3 threes. And then they fed Jordan Banks down low the whole second quarter. So, I mean, Luers did get a lot of what exactly they wanted there in the first half offensively. So we'll see what kind of adjustments Carroll makes on their defensive end to try to stop those two players.
Well, it looks like we got the starters on the floor for Carroll, except for Riley Perlick's going to get the start in the second half. And Tim, that's almost a no-brainer. He was outstanding in the first half. He was a real spark plug off the bench for the Chargers.
Yeah, he's much needed. Coach Mark Beasley knows exactly what he's doing. You go with a hot guy like that, a guy that's just being in the right places on any given night. So I like the move by Coach Beasley. Good look there to Redding. He's wide open.
Just left a little bit short, rebounded by Curry. Tim, you know, Pfaff starts the second half on the bench, but you already got 2 point guards on the floor right now in Arius Jones and Jacob Redding for Carroll, so it seems like a great move.
Well, also Kyle Mallers can bring the ball up, too, if they need to.
It's a big point guard. Ray Walker working off the pick set by Banks. Finds Davis and hands it off to Foster. We're just 1 minute into the third quarter. 28-24 is your score. Walker takes the feed. He's going to work off that pick by Banks. Good help defense by Riley Perlick as he sinks back and goes to Banks. Perlick with the tight coverage. He's betting that Banks cannot drive past him. Foster.
Good crossover.
Foster was just hidden back there with Banks right in front.
Yeah, but Jones gave him a little shook there after he cut him off baseline, made him go back out to the three-point line. I think Jones is having some pride here on guarding Foster one-on-one.
Banks feed down low to Curry. Curry backing down, and we got travel. No, we got a blocking foul going to be called on number 55, Kellen Brown.
Yeah, I would like the referee just to have a no call on that. Right there, we may have had our first jam of the night because Curry with his strength. Good look to Jones. To Jason Davis.
So for Jason Davis, that's his first bucket of the game coming in, averaging 8.7. Mallers picks up his dribble. Tim, he was left alone. Jumper's no good from 12 feet out. Curry gets it out to Walker. Walker one-on-one with Jones. Jones doing a great job of staying in front of him, walling him off. Foster for three, and he hits it. His fourth three-pointer of the game. J.J. Foster now 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. Jones, Perlick just inside the arc, sinks it.
Yeah, great minutes by the sophomore Riley Perlick. That's great minutes off the bench for Coach Beasley.
Carroll taking what the defense has given them, and when they're giving Perlick that shot, he's taking advantage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's see here as Foster, I think, is watch him raise up his game a little bit. As that time he turned it over.
Mallers with the steal and finishes on the other end. Curry with the foul. Tim, does not seem like a very good foul as Mallers did have body positioning there on Curry.
Yeah, just a youngster's mistake. It happens. You know, that's the type of stuff that you learn from. You know, make sure you foul that dribble driver so he cannot get that ball up, especially with the strength you have. There's no way Mallers should even be able to get his arms up. Just wrap him up, send him to the line.
So Mallers converts the three-point play. He now has 9 points in this game. Foster running the baseline. Jones right there with him, looking down low for Curry. Curry's got Perlick on his back. That was Kellen Brown just waiting with the help defense.
Yeah, you got to send two at Curry with Brown or Perlick. Now they got Mallers on him. It doesn't really matter if he has that position on the block with a defender behind him. If you don't throw two at him, he's going to get rolling here on the offensive end.
Foul is called on number 33, Riley Perlick, his first and the team's second. With the inbounds pass will be J.J. Foster. Foster guarded by Jones. Cook back into the game for Bishop Luers. Nice catch and shoot there by Banks. Gets his own rebound, finds a darting Ray Walker in the lane. Who hits it? For Walker, that's his 5th point of the game.
Just the all-around game of Jordan Banks being shown here tonight. Just haven't seen him shoot the three ball yet, but that's because Carroll knows he likes to shoot that.
Jones for 3. Tim, they were testing him there, and Jones drained it.
Yeah, they'll let Jones have that shot. If he's going to make it, they're just going to nod there, give him a nod and go back the other end.
Turnover by Foster in transition. Kellen Brown easy lane.
Yeah, Brown, that was a good attack. He went explosive to the basket, went right at the rim.
Foster no-look pass finds Cook in the corner. Foster was looking up in the stands, Tim, on that pass. Banks gives it up to Cook. Curry out of the game right now. Cook came in for him. Curry played about 2 minutes here in the third quarter. Davis finds Walker. Good ball movement once again. This zone defense by Carroll really working. There's a long three-point attempt, no good. Banks went up for it. They're going to call a foul on the big man.
Yeah, that was deep. That was NBA range that time by J.J. Foster, and just couldn't knock it down. But you can see the distance that he can shoot it from. He got that ball up with ease. He can definitely knock that down from NBA distance.
So for Banks, that's his second and the team's second. 4 minutes left to play. Knights up by 1. Foster's got the defense on Jones. Brown top of the key. Big man down low, just left a little bit short, but gets his own rebound. The putback is good by number 51, Jared Hoffer.
Yeah, good way to get his own miss there. Went up with the left hand, finished right.
So Hofer gets his first 2 points of the game. That gives Carroll the lead now, 36-35.
Good dribble drive there by Walker, taking it right in the crease of that defense, causing the foul.
Hofer called with the foul. That's his first and the team's third. Walker at the free throw line. His first free throw attempt in this game is a miss. Martin going to check in for Kellen Brown. That's Anthony Martin, the junior, at 6'3", 160. Carroll's got their big lineup out there on the floor. Banks, the only big man for Bishop Luers, as Curry's taking a breather on the bench.
Lane violation, Jeff. Lane violation, wave that off. Wave that free throw off.
So Walker 0 of 2 from the free throw line. Tim, we've seen that being called. The biggest one was in that championship game when Jacob Redding had 3 free throws, and he was called for a lane violation on the third.
Yeah, it's a tough call, but that is the right call.
Redding for 3, knocks it down. Jacob Redding, his third three-pointer of the game.
I was just getting ready to say it's about Jacob Redding time as the Carroll Chargers now up by 4, Jeff.
Redding with the team-high 9 points along with Kyle Mahlers. Steal by Martin. Martin looking to go coast to coast with it. With the right hand, gets it to go.
Good steal and take coast to coast by Martin. Good finish. Now 6-point advantage. And Coach J.J. Foster needs a timeout to talk about it. But it's been all-around team play for Carroll. Has been the run. Hasn't been one person. They are spreading it out here in the third quarter.
So timeout's going to be called by Coach Marty Beasley. It's a full timeout for the Chargers. We're going to take a break up here in the booth. Today's broadcast brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine. We are back here at the Carroll Field House. 41-35 is your score with Carroll on top. After the half, it was Bishop Luers with a 4-point advantage. All Carroll here in the third quarter. Jacob Redding hitting his third three-pointer of the game. Arius Jones also getting a three-pointer. Really balanced scoring here in the quarter. Mahlers with 3, Martin with 2, Perlich with 2, Hoffer with his first 2 points of the game, Kellen Brown with 2. He's now got 5 in this game. For Bishop Luers, Jason Davis with 2 points, Ray Walker, and J.J. Foster's got a triple. That's Walker with 2:50 left to play in the frame. Foster found a seam, kicks out, wide open. Davis not going to take the three-point look. He kicks it out to Foster. Feed goes down low to Banks. Hoffer right in his face, hits the baseline jumper.
That's a tough shot there over the bigger Jared Hoffer. Shows a nice touch and high arcing shot. Jordan Banks, so impressive tonight.
Banks now ties J.J. Foster with a game-high 14 points. Mallers kicks back out. Jones driving from the top of the key. Extra pass. Davis got right in front of it.
Yeah, good recovery defensively to knock the ball out of bounds, or that would have been an easy lay-in.
Redding finds Jones. Nice jump stop in the lane. Got some separation there. Tim rose up, squared up to the bucket, and got the 2.
Yeah, if Arius Jones can put in a couple points for Coach Beasley, that's a huge advantage. Not a big scorer for the Carroll Chargers.
Arius Jones entering today averaging 4.9 points per game. He has 5. Feed down low, all alone was Ray Walker.
Yeah, miscommunication defensively left Walker all alone for the easy lay-in.
Walker now with 7 points in this game. His team pulls to within 4, 43-39. Mallers rises up, 3-point attempt, no good. Possession to stay with Carroll.
They got a foul on Hoffer on over the back. 51 Jared Hoffer picked up the foul. We'll go back Luers' way.
So for Hoffer, that'll be his 2nd, team's 4th.
See if J.J. Foster can get going here. You know, I like that for them to do a screen and roll or a screen and pop with Jordan Banks to see if they can free up one of the two for an open 3 to cut this to a 1-point advantage.
Redding and Jones check out for the Chargers. Checking in is Avery Fath along with Jordan Bridges.
5 team fouls now, Jeff, with still a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Once they hit that 17 foul, we'll be in the bonus.
Inbounds pass goes to Walker. Caught that like a wide receiver. Hoffer met him at the cup, but Walker got it to fall. He's going to head to the free throw line looking for the and 1. That's 5'11" against 6'9", and Hoffer at 6'9" is a big 6'9".
Yeah, that was a great take and finish by Walker. It's going to be key. He's 0 for 2 from the line here, so we'll see what he can do. He needs to convert this.
He's coming alive here in the third quarter with 6 points now, 9 in the game. Walker sinks it. He's now 1 of 3 from the free throw line as the Knights pull within 1, 43-42. Backcourt pressure here for Bishop Luers. Bridges catches it right at the timeline, finds Mallers. Banks sinking down. Good job with the defense, but did get a hand there on Kyle Mallers.
Yeah, a little hand check foul called on Banks. Mallers with a good dribble drive baseline. Banks that time needs to get that foot right on the baseline and force that dribble drive back to the help defense, which is in the lane.
Because if he does, Tim, no one's going to knock him out of the way.
There's no doubt.
Loose ball picked up. Walker. He has Foster right out in front. Tried to get it to him. Martin did a good job of getting in front and cutting off the angle, Tim, but in doing so, caught a little bit of body contact.
Yeah, and that's that silky smooth play of J.J. Foster, getting the hand on that, knocking it away, causing the turnover. He's such a special all-around player.
So it's 1:12 left to play here in the third with the Chargers up 43-42.
In the bonus now, Jeff. Could be huge for Luers. Still with over 9 minutes to play in the game.
Walker with his 4th free throw attempt of the quarter. That one's no good. Foster went up for it. Loose ball out of bounds. Possession to Carroll. Checking in for Luers will be number 25, Tyler Prince. Tim saw some of the St. Francis football coaches in attendance here today, and they were looking at Banks. They were really wanting to sign him as an offensive guard.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Banks is huge. He moves his feet well. He's decently athletic for his size. So, yeah, I mean, I could see that be a good fit.
Tyler Prince checking in at 6'4". He's a forward, a junior. Tim, 6'4" seems a little bit generous if Banks is listed at 6'5".
Yeah, I think they're giving him a couple inches on that. He more looks 6'1"-ish. But, yeah, I mean, he has a lot of bulk behind that. So let's see if he can push Hoffer off the lane as he sits in the middle of that 2-3 zone.
So Curry and Banks on the bench right now for Luers. Pfaff finds a wide open Jordan Bridges, misses the baseline jumper. Coming up with the ball is Walker. He's got Davis. Tim, that pass maybe just a little late.
Drop pass. You drop the bounce pass. It makes it harder. It makes it harder to defend. The defender doesn't have time to get his hands all the way to the ground. If you drop that bounce pass, it makes it a lot easier to get the ball through.
Easier to handle, too, for the guy receiving it?
Absolutely. As long as the bounce pass is done correctly, yes.
Pfaff takes the feed over the timeline. 29 seconds remains. Kellen Brown walled off by Davis. Martin had a wide open look, retreats back. Looks like Carroll's going to settle for a last shot. We saw him do it in the first quarter. Bridges has Cook with the defense out on the perimeter. Pfaff slowing it up. He's calling for motion as Bridges runs the baseline. Hofer all the way out there beyond the arc. Martin driving from the corner. He's going to be fouled with 4.1 seconds remaining. Tyler Prince with the contact.
That's a good foul here. They're looking at the floor for Carroll. Where's the last shot coming from here in the third quarter? No Mallers, no Redding. Look for maybe Brown or Pfaff to get this one look here with 4.1 seconds.
Gets it into Bridges. And Prince got a hand on it. Bridges finishes. What strength there by number 25, Jordan Bridges. He picks up his first 2 points of the game, Tim, with 2.2 seconds remaining in the frame.
And what a big bucket that was. Just the strength powering up and through the defensive arms to put it in.
Could not convert on the three-point play, but Bishop Luers will not get a shot off. So after being down by 4, Carroll now up by 3, 45-42 at the end of 3.
Yeah, that's outstanding work there, Jeff, by Carroll there in the third quarter, spreading the wealth. You don't know where the points are coming from on any given possession, and that is so hard to deal with defensively when you can't key on 1 or 2 or even 3 players. You got to really stick with your man-to-man, all 5.
Tim, we got Snyder up 24-22 over Homestead at the half. Concordia up over Southside after the first quarter. That score was 26-19. Northrop taking on Northside, and it's the Bruins up 39-32 at the half. Richard Robertson with 13 points, Jagger Surface 12 points, 5 rebounds. That's a dynamic duo right there. Robertson just a sophomore for the Bruins.
Yeah, that would be an upset, Jeff. Northrop right now in the bottom, in the cellar of the SAC. They're 0-3. That would be a bit of a shocker to me with the firepower that Northside has.
Looks like the Hazen brothers have all 11 points for Columbia City in the third quarter as they lead Huntington North 30-23.
Let's look here to start the third quarter, Jeff. You know, Luers with the possession. Let's see if they can get Banks and Foster in a screen and roll action or a screen and pop. See if they can open one of them up for a 3. I love that play with those two guys. As when they start the fourth quarter here with Curry still on the bench for Luers.
It's Walker in control with the lob pass down into the corner. Davis, some tight defense here by Carroll to start the fourth.
A good half-court trap. Nice no-look pass by Foster to Davis. That was nicely done.
Alley-oop is good there, as that's going to pull Bishop Luers to within 1, 45-44. Jones had it knocked right back at him. 3-point attempt. His second one's no good. Cook did a good job of getting Kellen Brown out of the way so he could not get that rebound. Foster picked up by Jones. Cook, we haven't seen him shoot too much in this game. Luers doing a good job of taking what the defense gives them as Banks sinks down. Foster for 3. J.J. Foster with another triple. He had 3 in the first, 1 in the third, and now 1 in the fourth.
Yeah, Perlick there, Riley Perlick, just didn't close out fast enough, left the hand down for a second. And if you do that against the junior J.J. Foster, he'll rip it in your face.
Banks did a great job of getting his hand in the passing lane there and then gets the putback. How about Jordan Banks?
Good hustle by Banks, not taking it for granted, followed his teammate, followed the play, and now Luers comes out in the fourth quarter as they were down by 3, now up by 4. 7-point swing, Jeff, to start the fourth.
49-45 is the score, Tim. Banks very impressed with his athleticism and quick hands for a big man.
Yeah, he's very skilled. Not the most, he's not going to jump out of the gym or anything like that athleticism-wise, but his IQ is so good and just does a lot of things really well. Won't blow you away with too much, but is a solid player, and just a junior. We got to keep saying that. Most of these guys here on Luers are juniors. Everyone getting major minutes are juniors or freshmen. So, Coach J.J. Foster has a wealth of talent and young talent to boot to build this program as he's in his third year this year.
Well, there's no doubt it's going to be an exciting finish here, Tim. We've seen swings as Bishop Luers came out. They got the lead early. The Chargers fought back, held the lead at the end of the first. Bishop Luers took over, had a 4-point lead at halftime, went back to Carroll, 4-point lead after the third. Can't get much better than what we're seeing right here at the Fieldhouse. Brown back to Jones to Redding. Ray Walker, Davis, and Foster have gone the whole way for Bishop Luers. Have not seen much of Curry in this game as Redding drains the triple. Jacob Redding has a three-pointer in every single quarter. That's his fourth three-pointer made.
Yeah, Luers came out in the 2-1-2 zone right there, and Redding ran the baseline, found a wide open spot on the baseline here in the near corner, and just drops it in.
That was Kellen Brown with some suffocating defense on Davis. Foster working off the pick by Banks, finds Cook all alone in the corner. Another three-pointer too short by Cook. Rebounded by Brown.
Good rebound by Brown, took it right off Davis's back.
Brown calls for it, top of the key, hands it off to Mallers. Kyle Mallers working around Banks, popped out underneath. Timmy hit that one behind his back. He's going to head to the free throw line looking for the and one.
Yeah, you did a great job of shielding his defender, using the rim to protect himself from the shot blocker. It's a great finish by Mallers. Let's see if he can convert.
So that'll put Carroll in the bonus now, too, with Bishop Luers.
Yeah, 17 fouls apiece. We'll be 1-1 for the rest of the way, Jeff. And, Luers has been strong from the line.
Curry back into the game here with 5:45 left to play. We'll see if he goes the rest of the way for Bishop Luers. Nice feed as Banks driving baseline pops out off the glass.
Yeah, great feed by Curry. Got up in the air and saw Banks wide alone. The defense didn't rotate on the backside, and they took advantage with a nice little drop pass to Banks for the easy finish.
Banks now with a game high 18, Foster at 17. Curry just 2 points in this game. Brown's going to work up top. They're trying to find Mallers down on the block. They do find Kellen Brown. No good, rebounded by Curry. Curry gets it out, and the Knights are off and running as Ray Walker, uncontested, straight to the bucket, Tim.
Yeah, you got to stop ball in that case, but Ray Walker has a canny ability to get into that right angle to find his way to the basket.
That was Foster coming down with the board. So good angles there by Ray Walker. Probably a little hesitation there as he's got some burners.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Good call by the head coach over there, J.J. Foster. As we get a bit of a glimpse over there, I see on the bench is former IU standout Roderick Wilmot there in the sweater on the backside of the huddle. Head coach for the Fort Wayne Flight. But an outstanding player at Indiana University there in Bloomington. Roderick Wilmot, originally out of Miramar, Florida, but one of my favorite players there in Bloomington, Roderick Wilmot.
Yeah, Coach Wilmot once again. This will be his third season with the Fort Wayne Flight. The Flight it's an amateur league, but it's a league set up to help players get contracts overseas, just kind of get them to the next level. We've seen some good basketball being played in the CBA, and once again, the Fort Wayne Flight now in their third season with the league.
And did make it to the championship last year. Did get beat in that championship game, but Coach Wilmot really starting to build his coaching resume, being an assistant coach with the Mad Ants and such.
And bounce pass into the backcourt. as Foster tracks it down. 4:43, 2-point advantage for the Knights, 53-51. Luers taking their time. Martin all the way out of the timeline with the defense. The floater no good. Rebounded by Walker. Walker over to Banks. Beautiful vision there by Ray Walker.
Banks knows how to use that glass to his fullest ability. Sees those angles, and he just flicks it up on that glass, and it is going in the same time, same way every time.
Jordan Banks is a super scorer for the big man.
Watch Curry move his feet here.
Curry at 6'7", Mallers the same. Looks like Curry might have about 10 pounds on him.
Yeah, I would say at the minimum.
Martin Banks all the way out there at the perimeter. Inside the perimeter is Mallers. Jump shot no good. Brown ripping it away, blocked by Banks. Good block by the big man as Davis is going to get it over to Banks.
Yeah, good athleticism by Brown. That kind of shocked me a little bit, but he went up.
3:40 left to play. Foster.
That was a good recovery by Anthony Martin defensively on Foster. That would have been another wide open three.
Yeah, Martin showing some great quicks in this game. That's Davis all the way out by the timeline, and Brown's right out there with him.
Yeah, Luers will not rush.
Brown hits the deck as there's some physical play going on. Brown's not going to shy away from that. Woo! Nice off the glass. Ray Walker with the left hand. Tim, it almost seemed like he wrapped around the body and got that off the glass.
That's the second time he's finished on that left side of the rim over the bigger defender, just finding an ability to switch the ball in the air to give himself the right angle to get it up off the glass and in. Now Luers up by 6, they're in control. Coach J.J. Foster has got to be extremely pleased with the output. J.J. Foster, their high scorer, it hasn't been the J.J. Foster show. Ray Walker really showed up in that third quarter, but between Banks, Walker, and Foster, they're really the three that are just controlling this game for Luers.
Curry came in, Tim, averaging 14.3 points per game. Currently only has 2, but picking up on the offensive end has been Jordan Banks. I'm sure if you told many people that Sidney Curry would only have 2 points at this point, you would say, oh yeah, Carroll's going to run away with it. But his teammates really picking up the slack. And to be honest, we haven't seen much of Curry in this game.
No, he's sat quite a bit there in the third quarter and then into the fourth. So, saving the legs a little bit. Curry, just a freshman, still learning the Summit Athletic Conference and, the toll that it takes on your body. They play a lot of games, these kids, especially the high-level players, with the AAU and such. But, once you get into conference play, you're playing 3 or 4 games a week against some rivals and very emotional games. It definitely takes the toll.
Banks a senior. They will dearly miss him next year for the Knights. Redding up top. He's already got 4 3-pointers in this game. Redding. And it's good. That's the 5th 3-pointer for Jacob Redding. All 15 of his points have come from 3-point land.
Yeah, no surprise there. Good luck, but Mallers saw it all the way, and his length broke it up.
Now Redding looking to go other end, and he finishes. If he hits this free throw, we will be tied up at 57. That's Jacob Redding.
We were just waiting, Jeff, waiting. When is Redding going to start exploding? Well, a 3, then a take to the bucket. He finishes. He's going to go to the line now to try to convert. Jacob Redding.
Tim, exploding is the perfect word because he just exploded through the paint there to get to the cup.
Yeah, that's the new catchphrase, I guess, in basketball is the explosiveness at the rim, the fast twitch muscles, and the explosiveness is being so explored big time in basketball that it's just really beginning to scratch the surface and people understanding what you can do and how you can train your fast twitch muscles just to even make a better vertical for yourself.
J.J. Foster missed on the 3-point attempt. Mallers now out to Redding, who finishes. Carroll takes the lead, 58-57, 2:05 left to play in the game.
What a run by Carroll. Never give up. They're number 5 in the state for a reason. Carroll Chargers back on top by 1.
Tim, and it makes sense that Mallers would find Redding. But Banks, you go to Mr. Automatic. That's Jordan Banks. Down low, he's got 22 points.
And that's with no threes, Jeff. He has not shot a three all game long. These have all been around the bucket. Very impressive by Banks, a senior.
Couple baseline jumpers as well. He's a shooter. Kellen Brown, 16-footer is good.
Good elevation by Brown, and that was a huge shot from 15.
Kellen Brown now with 7 points, 60-59 your score. Walker and Brown's going to be called with the foul on the reach-in.
Yeah, just got a little aggressive there. Saw the ball put out in front of him for just a split second. Went to reach it, but Walker so quick with that dribble, just pulled it away. And now he'll get to go to the line to shoot two.
Tim, so many different ways of training those fast twitch muscles. You were just talking about the explosiveness in basketball. What are some of the new things that the basketball players are going to train?
A lot of them, you know, the new age, they're moving to sand pits, working out in sand. I mean, I could just, perfect example of IU and their new strength and conditioning coach, you know, immediately built a sand pit. You know, that helps. You know, there's different, sports medicine is booming, and it's constantly evolving, you know, as far as with, you know, breathing apparatuses on faces while they're running to restrict the breathing that will help you breathe better during a game. You know, the sports science is really taking off in the college sports.
Yeah, and really at the prep level, at the kids level, all the way around, it is definitely exploding. Obviously, I spent some time out in California, spent 4 years living out there, 2000 to 2004, sand training out there. They got the beach, they got the sand dunes. It was not uncommon to see USC's football team with their swimming team out there. Why do they train in the stands? Because it's less stable. You're going to build a lot of those stabilizing muscles on the balls of your feet because the ground does give. You know, it's not a solid surface, so you're constantly having to adjust. Absolutely, it's great. And then I also talked to you about kickboxing, Tim, when you're throwing those roundhouses, getting your foot from the ground up into the air and doing that consistently and as fast as you can builds those fast twitch muscles because you're training your body to throw that kick.
And back to the explosiveness training, just to real quick to finish the point, you know, there's a lot of, it's the way you train your muscles. You know, if you're jumping over and over and over again, let's say 30 straight times and touching the backboard, you're teaching your muscles that you're just supposed to jump up and down quickly like a pogo stick when you need to teach them to jump explosively from the ground up.
Well, the Knights up 61-60 after Walker's free throws. 111, and we got a backcourt violation. Banks with its defense on Mallers.
I think that was the wrong call there. That was called by the Luers bench. Mallers did not completely put himself on the offensive side. He had the line straddled.
That's exactly what Coach Beasley's saying right now.
Right, he had the line straddled. He was completely legal going back into the backcourt.
So if one foot goes over into the front court, you can still come into the back court.
Absolutely. The whole ball and your whole body has to be, well, at least your feet have to be in the offensive side.
Lob down to Curry. And I don't know if he stepped on the baseline. We've got travel going to be called on Sidney Curry.
Yeah, that was a tough call. Looked like he kept the pivot foot down, but called on Curry. Now we go back to Luers, or it's going to go back to Carroll.
61-60. That's kind of tit for tat there.
Got away with the double dribble there. He put both hands on the ball, did Brown.
Wisely finds Redding. Mallers now driving from the corner, looking to split. Banks got a hand on it. He's going to be called with the foul. That'll be his fourth.
A lot of ball there, but referee.
Actually, it's going to be called Davis. Is
too
that right?
much. Okay, I was looking at Banks there. Yeah, they did get Davis down low. So Mallers with the chance here, Jeff. Knocked down two of them. They'll go up by one.
Sinks it. It's Mallers' second free throw of the quarter on the game. He's 6 of 7 from the charity stripe. Hits them both. So the Chargers up 62-61. Homestead's up by one with 26.9 to go against Snyder. J.J. Foster with Jones. Good crossover to get that separation. Drew a lot. Oh, right through the hands of the freshman.
Just a bit too much heat on the pass. But, Curry, I guarantee if you asked him, he'll tell you that he should have caught that. But it happens. It happens in the heat of the moment.
We got a veteran squad here with Kyle Mallers, Jacob Redding, and the Carroll Chargers. Kellen Brown, also a senior. He's going to be fouled by Foster. Definitely the right call there, Tim. With no shot clock.
Yeah, absolutely. With no shot clock in the state of Indiana, wouldn't have mattered anyway on that one as we're at 22 seconds. But you got to foul. Try to lengthen the game. Lengthen the last 22 seconds. Make it as long as possible to give your team the best chance at pulling the win.
So Mallers now has hit 4 straight free throws. Homestead is up 51-50 with 18.7 seconds left to play there. 3-point advantage for Carroll, 64-61. I believe you want to find Foster behind the arc. J.J. Foster, he's got 5 3-pointers in this game. He's trying to work himself free. Great pick there by Banks, but good recovery by Jones. 8 seconds. Foster in the lane, kicks out. Banks for 3. Oh, rims out. Mallers with the rebound. He's going to be fouled with 1.7.
Jeff, Jordan Banks, his first 3-ball look, went nearly halfway down, spun back out. What a tough break for Luers and Jordan Banks. What a tough break.
Bishop Luers, J.J. Foster down at the other end, just looking dejected there. They have fought so hard, Tim. It looked like they had all the momentum midway through the fourth. Jacob Redding, Kyle Mallers doing what they do, and now their team's up by 4, 65-61.
Yeah, Redding and Mallers, the 2 stars for Carroll, came up big in the fourth quarter, scored unofficially all but 2 points here in the fourth quarter for the Chargers.
Mallers now has a team high 18, is no good there by Foster. Carroll will win it 66-61. The Chargers coming from behind here in the fourth quarter to get the victory over Bishop Luers. What a game with so many different swings here, Tim. I said earlier that Mallers had the team high for Carroll when actually it was Jacob Redding at 19 points, but that's what you would expect. Those 2 guys all season long getting it done for their squad with a lot of help from a lot of different players.
Yeah, it was a good team, balanced effort and win tonight for Carroll. Redding, he's got the team high, and he had an off night shooting. It tells you how dynamic he is as a shooter. Will keep launching them. But the defense was huge down the stretch for Carroll, making a couple stops when they had to, forcing a couple turnovers. Big win for Carroll. Jeff, they stay now undefeated in the SAC. Luers now drops to 500. So what a huge win by Carroll here at home to stay undefeated in conference.
Well, Homestead just upset Snyder 51-50. So now you have Homestead and Carroll, the 2 newcomers, sitting all alone up atop the SAC. Tim, very, very interesting. And once again, hats off to Homestead coach Chris Johnson. It seems like all he does is win.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You lose the best player, Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana, and Caleb Swanigan, and you just, you have no real size down low this year. But with Curry, Taj Curry, and Parker Mangus, the several plates, Jacob Wolfkale, Jack Ferguson, they are an all-around squad, kind of like this Carroll team here. It's not the Redding and Mallers show. Trust me, they did show up there in the fourth quarter, and they were the reason they won. But the balanced scoring, all but 2 players on the whole roster scored in the third quarter, Jeff. So Coach Marty Beasley has to be super excited about the comeback win. And not only the comeback win, the balanced scoring there in the third quarter, and then his 2 stars coming up big in the fourth quarter. But for Luers, they got to figure out a way to get Sidney Curry involved offensively. Jordan Banks had a huge game, but Sidney Curry is way too talented of a kid not to get, he may have had 4 or 5 total shots tonight. So, in my opinion, he needs to be second on the team in shots, maybe third with Banks, since Banks can step out and hit the three. But, it's so important. J.J. Foster, he doesn't get frustrated. He just continually goes at you. Ray Walker had a great game, but just not enough balance for Luers right now. But they'll get it figured out. I mean, they're a 3A squad that can definitely do some damage in the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be real interesting to see the final statistics, Tim, because really it's looking like maybe less than 16 minutes played in this game for Sidney Curry, and you would have never expected that one heading in. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. My name is Jeff Mahoney alongside Tim Atkinson. It was Carroll getting the sweep here at the Fieldhouse over the Bishop Luers Knights. Once again, this is SummitCitySports.com, brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Until next time, have a great weekend.